Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the City Council meeting of September 15, 2014. If you stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk would read the roll, please.
Councilmember Mayer,
Here.
Councilmember Hall,
Here.
Councilmember Alta,
Here.
Councilmember Ellison,
Here.
and Mayor Hodges.
Here. Thank you. And second item on our agenda is the agenda. Any additions, corrections, changes, things we need to do?
I will move for approval of the agenda as presented.
I'll support.
Been moved and supported to adopt or approve the agenda. All in favor?
Yes.
Approval of the minutes of our regular meeting of September 15. Those are in the packets. Any additions or corrections?
I move that we approve the minutes of the past meeting as presented.
I'll second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the September 15 meeting. All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Approval of the accounts payable. Those are in our packet for our review. Any questions or concerns?
I move that we approve the accounts payable as presented.
Is there support?
Yes, I'll support.
Thank you. Been moved and supported to adopt the accounts payable. For this, we need a roll call.
Councilmember Mayer,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Alta,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellison,
Yes.
and Mayor Hodges.
Yes. Thank you. Item 5 is citizen comments for any items that do not appear on the agenda. So if any citizen would like to address the council, this would be the time to do that. We'd ask that you step up to the podium, state your name for the record, and limit your comments to about 5 minutes.
Jim Howard, Jackson Street. I believe the city council has failed to do their job as a public servant when it comes to the contract negotiations between the city and the union that represent the employees of the Department of Public Works. City council has used closed sessions as an excuse why they couldn't inform the constituents what was being said in contract negotiations. Closed sessions are governed by the Open Meeting Act. A closed session may be held where strategy and negotiation sessions connected with the negotiation of a collective bargaining agreement, if either negotiating party requests a closed hearing. Either the constituents have been unjustly left out of decision-making. Either the constituents would have been part of the decision-making. I believe that if the constituents would have been part of the decision-making, that a just contract would have been settled long ago. I'm asking the city council now to correct better than 2.5 years of misgivings by having a public hearing on the contract negotiations. Councilmember Alta, do you think there should be a public hearing?
We're going to respond to any questions.
Yes.
You can address the chair here.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other citizens care to address the council? Seeing none, we'll move on to old business, strategy and goals report, as well as pending council project reports. Mr. Howe.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. On the strategic goals, the Grand Valley Metro Council, along with an engineer from Williams Works and our DPW director, traveled to every city street to conduct the annual Hazer rating study. This is the study that evaluates the condition of each street. It puts it in a scale from 1 to 10. And then that information is used to be able to create, with the road software, to be able to create a long-term plan for street improvements. The Metro Council, just as an aside to that, the Metro Council is going to do they agreed to do the bulk of the work for us on that long-term plan. And we expect to have something within, I hope within the next month from them that will start to give us an idea of what the total cost of street improvements might be over the next 10 years, over the next 20 years, so that we can start doing a little bit more long-term planning in terms of giving dollar amounts So that's where we're heading on that, and that's the update on street asset management plan. Downtown development plan, project team met to organize a schedule for the remainder of the year. In addition, we met with the Michigan Department of Transportation to identify what options for traffic calming and parking might be acceptable in the downtown area. I would ask you to mark your calendars for October 23rd and November 20. Those are tentative dates for future stakeholder meetings. The notices have not gone out yet, but those are the dates that we set aside. And then finally, on the downtown core trail connector, the Lowell Area Recreation Authority had further discussion on options for the trail connection through Lowell. There are options that were discussed as a part of the plan that do not include a viable connection to the downtown. I think it's important that you know that. There are some options that do, some options that don't. And that's all I have for strategic goals.
Okay, the pending council projects report, again, there's some loose ends there we need to shore up. Can we do that at the work session?
We could, yeah.
All right.
That would be number 1 work session.
Okay, which comes up on Wednesday, 6 o'clock in the conference room for anyone that would like to know, and it is open to the public. Moving on then to item 7A, a resolution for Whitesbridge Society, Whitesbridge Historical Society, excuse me. And Mr. Howell, you have an introduction to make.
Yes, Nancy Snyder, I know I was going to mess up your name, and I apologize for that, but is here to give us a few comments on this. Basically, the group is asking for a couple things. One, that we recognize them as a charitable organization in the community, which gives them the ability to pursue a charitable gaming license with the state of Michigan to raise funds for their cause. And also that we just support their efforts to raise money for the restoration of Woods Bridge. But Nancy, if you want to go ahead and...
Hello.
Hello.
Got my prehistoric teleprompter, and if it sounds scripted, it is. I'm the treasurer of the society, and our group formed about a month after the bridge burnt in 2013. Shortly thereafter, we contracted with Echo Demolition out of Holland, Michigan, who came in with their cranes, dumpsters, and personnel, along with our volunteers, removed the remains of the bridge from the river. That saved taxpayers nearly $24,000. We have a gift letter from them stating that that would be their cost to do that. We removed the bridge to a private property, and it remained there over the winter, just in a big pile, actually. This spring, we went back, paid for dumpsters, and again, with our personnel, or with our volunteers, removed that, and then to its final remains in some landfill somewhere. We waited nearly 8 months after we applied for our 501c3 application, which we finally received, and that was retro to August of 2013. Tom Bile, he's our vice chairman. He is also a civil engineer with the Kent County Road Commission, who was on board as a job supervisor when the Ada Bridge burnt and had to be rebuilt. So we've got a strong, knowledgeable man there who knows the costs, the ins and outs of MDOT, and all the red tape that goes along with that. He's projected the cost to be between $450,000 to $475,000 to build an exact replica with obviously larger load limits and all that good stuff for this time. We've applied through the Ionia County Road Commission for a bridge grant of $275,000. That would leave us with almost $200,000 to raise by 2017 when those funds would become available. And I got to interject this now because you're probably thinking, okay, this is Keene Township. This is Ionia County. What's that got to do with us? Well, so many people that are on our society come from all over. We've got a gentleman from Ada, Tom. We've got myself from Lowell. Flat River. It's just a bridge that everybody enjoyed. It didn't matter where you came from or what you do. But our group was formed in Lowell. We have a mailing address in Lowell, and we meet at the Lowell Chamber office every month. So the state requirement for us to apply for this raffle license be that we approach the governing authority, which would be Lowell City Council, and that's why I'm here today. I'm just here to ask, part of our process in us asking for this initial raffle license is that we get the resolution from City Council, and that's why I'm here asking for that today. But we're also asking just for a general letter of support for our group and what we're attempting to do. The raffle that we're asking for specifically is really cool. Our chairman applied for, unbeknownst to all of us, he just kind of did this on his own because he's from the area, secured us 2 tickets, 2 free tours of the Mackinac Bridge, which includes the elevator ride up to overlook. I mean, there's no price you can put on this. They're given away to charitable organizations. Over 1,500 people or organizations applied for that this year. We were one of 25 that were given this. So we're trying to put it together in a package with overnight stay. You know, we're contacting hotels, restaurants to put it all together in a package and use that as a fundraising opportunity. So again, I'm just here to ask for that resolution, and then again, the general letter of support for our group.
All right, thank you, Nancy. Yeah. Yes, I do think that this certainly is a reflection of the greater community, and we certainly, I shouldn't be ahead of ourselves here, but I certainly give you my support also.
Appreciate that. And for anybody?
Any additional council comments, or do we have a motion?
I'm sorry. Questions?
No copy of the resolution, but you would write one up, or?
It's an application. It says
Okay.
the resolution, but the resolution just says that you, what I put in here, authorize the, or no, that you recognize them as a charitable organization in the community.
Okay.
That's what
I
it
can
says.
say there, with part of the package, the application package, there was kind of a standard form which I forwarded
Nancy, could
to
you-
you. I think it's just kind of a fill in the blank kind of deal.
I without reading it, I'm sure that's what it is. So I move that we recognize the Whites Bridge Historical Society as a charitable society and approve
Charitable
their organization and approve their gaming license.
And I'll second.
And moved and seconded to support this recommendation, authorizing Whites Bridge Society as applicant as a charitable organization. And I guess as a resolution, and just for formality, we'll do a roll call.
Councilmember Mayer,
Yes.
Councilmember Hall,
Yes.
Councilmember Altough,
Yes.
Councilmember Ellison,
Yes.
and Mayor Hodges.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good luck, Nancy.
And again, if I could ask for just a general letter of support, that would go a really long way when I start approaching foundations for grant money.
We'll do that.
That would be awesome. Thank you.
Moving on then to item B, which is recognition of 22 years of service by Jim Sowle as our airport manager. Mr. Howe.
Thank you. Jim Sowle, as I think I announced at a previous meeting, will be retiring as the airport manager effective October 1. He served as manager of the Lowell Airport. I believe I was in air here. I said 18 years, but I think it's been 22 years since 1992. And during that time, the community airport has continued to improve in the area of safety and expanded services. And Jim, he's just been a great member of the leadership team as well, and just a wonderful manager at the airport, and also a wonderful member of the community. He's active in Rotary and active in other organizations, and his services really they've been appreciated, but they'll be greatly missed. And so we're just asking that you commend him for his service and offer your sincere congratulations to him on his retirement, and maybe even have a little bit of fun and make some note of the fact that he's not at his own party yet. See Jim sitting back there, but I'm sure he's on his way. We have cake for him.
Oh, excellent. Okay. And I trust these are members of the airport board. So I'll tell you what, let's just hold off a little bit. We've got a plaque here that we're going to present to him, and we can do that should he arrive soon. So, and then we'll do that at that time, so but nonetheless, we have a recommended motion recognizing Jim Sowle, so if we could take care of that piece of business.
I move that we commend Jim Sowle for his service to the city and congratulate him on his retirement.
I'll second.
And moved and seconded to pass this recognition. All in favor?
Yes.
Any opposed? Who would be opposed? What a guy. Anyway, and a gift to give, too. Thank you, and we'll recognize Jim as he will arrive shortly, I'm sure. Item 8 is monthly reports, which are in our packets for our review. Any questions, concerns about the business of the last month? Seeing none, then we'll move on to council comments, and we'll start with Matt Mayer.
I had the opportunity today to sit with the members of the fire authority for the first time. That was terrific. I really enjoyed it. A nice little tour of the facility over there. They do a great job. It's impressive. I look forward to being there more often.
Okay. At one point, when we was here, we had a discussion about you maybe being interested in that, but in all fairness, you probably needed to sit in and at least one to see if it was tolerable to your palate.
Yes.
And if not, we wouldn't be making that mistake prematurely. So this is something you would like to do.
I would.
So we can officially, I think,
Yeah, I know it's further down on the agenda, but
our representative to the airport or to the fire authority.
absolutely.
Yeah, all right, terrific. Any other comments?
Not right now.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Hall.
In the last planning commission meeting, we looked at two possibilities for ordinance changes and temporary uses and accessory buildings. So that'll be coming up for our next discussion or two. Lara, I think Mark alluded to the fact that the trail organization is looking at various possibilities of bringing the trail into Lowell and making a connection on the north to the south or south to the north. I think that's well underway, and I think a consensus of the board is coming up with the new plan. So watch for that. One of these days we'll be making a recommendation. Other than that, that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Alta.
I had an airport board meeting last week, and the board members approved pavement between two of the hangars and out to the runway, and that's all complete except for a little bit of grading, I guess. And the guys are really doing a good job of it. You can tell that it's, even though Jim hasn't left yet, things are changing. Jim's did a good job, but then it's gonna look a lot better, and I think we're gonna have more people wanting to store airplanes there. So that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you. Mrs. Allison.
I don't have any updates on my boards and have no comments.
Okay. Thank you. Lowell Light and Power did meet last week and had a healthy discussion concerning the underground burial of various utilities and so forth. They've come up with one of their solutions would be that the grade level is measured at the time of inspection, and should a landowner or owner of the property choose to alter that, that would be at their discretion and their responsibility. And they're moving forward. They'll be taking photographs of all their inspections. So I think they're coming to a resolution to that particular problem. And they're also going on to continue to to review the rest of their policies and procedures over the next few months, and look forward to making sure that those are all in place and very workable. The Chamber of Commerce met last week also, and the Harvest Festival is scheduled for October 10 and 11, and in conjunction with Light and Power, as well as the Greater Lowell, what am I looking for? It's not Vision, it's Alliance, thank you. We are looking at doing a recycling project. Recycle bins will be at the fairgrounds on Saturday, the 11th, from 9 a.m. to noon. And so if you've got any recycle goods that you need to part with and get things cleaned up for winter, that would be a wonderful opportunity to part with your junk. Girls' Night Out is scheduled for October 16, and we're looking forward to a lot of activity downtown for that. And if all that weren't enough, this weekend is the Fallisburg Fall Festival. Lots of activity there, as well as the mayor umpiring some old-fashioned baseball games. That should be interesting during the afternoon. So looking forward to a busy, good weekend, and nice future to our October. And that pretty much takes care of everything that I have. We'll move on then to the city manager's report.
Thank you. Thank you. The auditors completed their field work. They are now going back and working on preparing a final report to present to you later this year. The good news is that early indications are that the general fund finished in the black, which is I think quite an achievement, especially considering that we had to pay for part of the fire truck that we had not originally planned on, but we were able to achieve some savings in other areas. This year we did plan on that second payment for the fire truck, so hopefully we don't end the year this year sort of on the edge of our seats wondering where we're going to end up. But things are looking pretty good for last year's audit, and like I said, you'll have a report I would say in another month or so. We'll have the work completed. The Downtown Development Authority, they agreed to fund survey work for a project to begin the installation of parking behind the buildings off from the 200 block of Main Street. In fact, the survey crews, I think, were finishing up their work today. I saw them out there. And the idea, without getting into too much detail, or I can if you want me to, but the idea is that we've got, first of all, we have a water and a sewer project that we need to do in that alley anyway. And we'd like to get those projects done, but also repave the alley, redo the grade, and try to at least add maybe 10 spots or so at the beginning of a parking lot on the property that the city currently owns. And then there are still several dominoes that have to fall in terms of being able to complete an entire parking lot back there. But the survey work will be done, and the beginning of some construction could be done. So that's kind of where we're heading. Once the survey work is done, once I have some estimates, I'll be coming back and talking to you about details, and I would need your approval for the water and sewer projects. I am looking to the DDA to fund the parking lot portion of the asphalt. So we'll have more discussion on that in the future. Williams & Works will also be conducting, as a part of the downtown development plan, a detailed downtown parking analysis. The analysis will explore current and potential future uses of downtown buildings, assessing the potential parking needs, evaluating whether or not the current parking capacity can meet those needs, and also exploring how parking policies, for example, the length of time you can park in certain areas, can have a positive impact on the efficient utilization of parking. So that detailed analysis has started already, and like I said, it'll be done in concurrence with the downtown development plan. And then finally, just as a reminder, we have workshops scheduled for September 17th, Wednesday night, and then September 29th at 6 p.m. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Moving on then to vacancies and appointments. I think we covered that with our fire authority, and Matt Mayer will fill that position. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And with no, Jim's not here yet? I know what happened. You see, Jim, we used to have our council meetings at 7:30, and I'm certain Jim's going to be showing up right at 7:30. But nonetheless, do we have a need for a closed session today? Not at all, so formally.
I move that we adjourn at 7:25.
Second?
Been moved and seconded to adjourn, all in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. Now, there's some cake and so forth. We got some instructions, and or we could just wait 4 more minutes, see if Jim shows up at 7:30.